Yes, we're starting early. You're invited early into the Nutmeg Tavern. Welcome. We are live here in the Nutmeg Tavern. I'm your host, John Townsend. We're going to be talking about my dream boats. Not a dream boat, boats I dream of. That's what we're talking about today. Normally, I am seconded here behind the bar by Ryan, but he's not there again. Man, the guy's going to be in trouble. He won't know how it works when he gets back. Ryan is gone, so Aaron's doing double duty. Aaron.
Yep, but I'm here, right?
Yes, you're there.
And
now,
you wanted John's dream space boat? Like John's dream boat?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I put John's dream. But it is a picture of a boat.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got that straight.
Yeah.
And hopefully Aaron won't mess up like I did on the Patreon live stream and have the music running for the first 10 minutes underneath me trying to talk. Sorry, Patreon folks.
Oh no, this is an Aaron stream.
This is done right this time.
Hey, real quick though.
Yeah.
We did get a super chat like hours ago.
Okay.
So I want to read that. Mandatory Carry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Says I gotta scroll up and find it because it was an hour. Oh, he didn't say anything. Thank you.
Oh, well, hey.
Oh, no, he said, doing this now just in case I can't make it then.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
We hope you are able to make it. And before I get to the topic, our hearts go out to all you folks out in California and Washington and Oregon dealing with the fires. And, we don't have to deal with that around here. We don't have to deal with hurricanes or things or earthquakes, just tornadoes.
Yeah,
just the occasional tornado that... But, I mean, they're just so localized, and you guys have to deal with those massive issues. So our hearts go out to you. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Be well. The topic of today came up because of the Patreon live stream, and somebody asked in Patreon live stream, what my dream projects are in what we do. And, in one way I answered it was, I get to do my dream project all the time. Like the cabin, that was a dream project. And making bricks, I can't wait to burn those bricks. Dream project. Doing the earthen oven. We're going to be doing another earthen oven. It's going to be so cool. So we get to do all these, dugout canoe. Dream project after dream project. There it is. Here's the dugout canoe. So one of the biggie things, and I'll never get to it, right? I'll never get to my okay, maybe someday. I'll never get to my really dream project, and that is a big boat or a big-ish boat, right? I even try to bring my pie in the sky dreams down into doable, and that is I don't need a 20-gun frigate, I don't need an HMS Surprise, but something bigger than a rowboat would be really cool.
Oh, we did that. See, it's right here.
Yeah, that is not bigger than a rowboat. There's the elm bark canoe. Yes, those are dream projects as they were. But we're going to be talking about boats today, and bigger boats, not ships, but just off of ships. Let's start out with let's start off with that slideshow, and let's look at some of these slides, and we're gonna look at some of John's dream boats.
There it is.
That's one of them. It is.
So like that.
This is no. You might be tricked by this picture. You might think that I'm talking about the boat in the center. No, that's like, I don't know. I'd have to count the guns.
I think you, Brandon, Ryan.
We could do that.
Josh.
We could do that. No, not the ship in the center there, which is a frigate, probably, like a 28 or something like that frigate. No. See the little packet boat that's down here that's called the Yarmouth? There. That's John's dream boat, because I could actually do that, right? I could actually, sail that around, and it would be cool, and it would be big enough to be wow, but not so big that you couldn't actually do it. Now, even the one on the other side, where the 5 guys are rowing and the guy in the back and he's chilling, and that'd be cool. Hey, that's pretty dreamy. Go to the next one. So I look at lots of books, and I'll refer to a bunch of books here at the end of this, where a lot of these pictures are from. This book is called, this is an image from American Sailing Ships, Their Plans and History, by Charles Davis. Really, really good book that kind of covers a lot of different sailing ships, some from our time period, like this little Pinky, this 1800 Pinky, that are very doable, and also they give you a lot of detail. It's a really nice book for that kind of thing. Go ahead. Yeah, here's another, I think this is out of Naval Warfare in the Age of Sail. And again, it's like, no, I don't want the 100-gun ship in the background. I don't want the 26-gun frigate that's beside it. No, that little boat that's in the foreground, whoa. No, it's really not a boat. That's a little mini, well, it's a fishing smack is what it is. Single-masted, that is just, I look at that and say, that's so almost doable. Almost doable. Go ahead, Aaron. There's this great book. What is this one? This one is Inshore. This is from Inshore Craft, Traditional Working Vessels of the British Isles. This book it's like got saliva all over it because I keep reading it and dreaming about the books that are in it. Now it's got lots of painting or lots of photographs of fishing vessels. These inshore vessels are inshore trading, inshore fishing vessels of Great Britain. In the 19th century, and they talk about 18th century pieces. And I mean, the coast of Great Britain, the coast of America, was covered with ships like this that went out and did fishing every day, all the time. It was a great portion of the economy. Today, that's unheard of. This still goes on, but not in this kind of a fashion. So I look at those pictures and those drawings and paintings, and it's always amazing to me. You can go ahead. Yeah, this is out of one of the Anatomy of a Ship series. This one's from the 20-gun Blandford. Now, this isn't the Blandford itself, the 20-gun ship, but these books show you what the boats of the ships would be like. So, I can't have one of the ships, but I could have one of the ship's boats. So this is probably like a 20-footer, and it's got a step for a mast, and you can row it around. You can even see here on the side, it was used to haul anchors for the ship. So sometimes you need to anchor out. You'd set an anchor down one place, you'd put an anchor at another place, and connect your ship between those. Or you might have to retrieve an anchor, and you'd use your ship's boats for that. You can go ahead there. There's another one of those from that Inshore Craft. Imagine going to any port city, and there it is. Not a whole bunch of fiberglass, yachts that are modern and very rarely get taken out, but all these working sail vessels waiting to go out. Some of them doing local transport, some of them doing fishing. Just seeing a picture like that again, just if I only lived in an earlier time when that was still around. All those ships have been broken up for firewood. This is another really almost doable project, but in some ways it would be very doable for a small group. This image is from the Gondola, Philadelphia, Battle of Lake Champlain. It's a book about this particular boat / ship, not really. It's more of a scow. The Battle of Lake Champlain during Revolutionary War. The Americans built and manned a number of naval vessels. You can see this is a very flat-bottomed. It would have just sailed horribly. I mean, it's just terrible. It was a gun platform that had a sail on it, and it would not do very well. Anyway, it sank, and they found it like in the 1930s. They brought it up, they preserved it. It kind of rattled around in a few museums, and it ended up in the Smithsonian. It's an amazing story, and it would be a doable ship from the time period. There's a bunch of plans in there, and there is one. I don't know if it's still afloat, but at the time period they built a Philadelphia, and it was on the lake. That would be a cool project to check out. This is from that Pines Rustic Vignettes book that we've seen before, like the brick making, etc. Again, it's giving us a drawing representation of some of those photographs that we've seen of local fishing vessels and trading vessels. All those nice, almost small enough that, you can do it with a 2 or 3 man crew, and it isn't sort of undoable or out of reach. There you go. Yeah, even smaller boats and ships of these same people. I love that you can only see half of it there on the extreme left-hand side. There are women folk there sailing that one. There's a punt up above it with a dog out front. I mean, people were using this as just standard everyday transport for regular people actually going someplace. Today, people only get in a sailboat or a boat like that for recreational purposes, but they were doing it as everyday transport. So I've been talking about ship's boats, and ship's boats could be pulled behind the ship. This is actually a little photograph of a model, but it shows us exactly what's going on here. Here we've got a giant ship, and the ship's boats fit on the ship. And sometimes they would stack them inside of each other. These are side by side. Can you imagine having a 20 or a 30-foot long wooden boat on top of your ship? That's how big the ship is.
See, I think you're dreaming too small. I want the one underneath.
yeah, I want the 20 gun.
That is pretty amazing, though.
Go ahead. This is from the little, or not a little. Again, this is one of my books that's got like saliva damage because I read it so much and I want that one. I want this one. This is a drawing of a 33-foot launch, I think, and it's big enough that the plans are here so you can deck this ship's boat over and use it like a mini ship. So you might have your ship, your larger, ship of the line 74, something like that, would have a very large ship's boat like this. You might go to the Caribbean and you would be out for months at a time. And this would be your little adviso, your little extra boat that would go out and do errands. And it's almost big enough that you could man it with a decent crew that would actually do its own work all by itself. You'd take it along with you. So. Even this guy, here we go, river barge, and we've seen this painting before. It's always one of those that just kind of pops into my head. I think of ship's boats, and I see the guys sitting there they're just like, there's a table and a chair and people are sitting around in this boat that's going, sailing up the river, and it's like, oh, I can see myself sailing up the river. Another one of these beautiful. This is a fishing smack. A decent size wooden fishing sailing boat at a time period. You might use a small ship / boat like this for doing trading, or you'd fill that guy up with fish. Although, can you imagine if you use this for fishing all the time, what that boat would smell like? Oh, next, Another, you can see nice sized wooden vessels there used on the river for transport still, very, very, very doable. Again, do I want the little, it's almost just a sloop back there. No, but the one in the foreground, yes, that's the one we want there. Go ahead. And there I am, back in the canoe. Yeah. So here are some of the books. Naval Warfare, Age of Sail. Great book. This is the boats of the men of war. That's just about ship's boats. The topic, very intriguing to me, and it's one of those niche of a niche topics. Tremendous book. Love it. It's got a lot of 18th century stuff. And then 19th century stuff. The neat thing is the military, the British Navy during the 18th century and 19th century, every time a ship got a boat like that, they would draw the lines of it. They would document the lines of boats that were captured or bought into service, and all those records were kept, and they have all these drawings of exactly how long and what shape, and because they change over time period about how they are shaped. A boat just isn't a boat. This is that Anatomy of a Ship series, which is actually made for modelers, but really neat. It goes through every sort of layer of a ship and gives you the drawing and the dimensions so that you can make this perfect ship's model. There's a bunch of these available for different ships of the time period, some more modern, but a lot of different ones, 1605, 18th century ones, early 19th century ones. Gondola Philadelphia book has all the history of the original one and the rescue of the one that was at the bottom of the lake that was still sort of intact. It's just incredible. Great book. And then this one is really good and a very inexpensive book for the topic, the American Sailing Ships, Their Plans and History. All those, if you're interested in any of those, there's a link down in the description, or he'll put it in the chat for you. It's like the Amazon store thing for our channel, so if people are interested in things, we can at least put a link and they can find it. It is an affiliate link. It doesn't cost you any extra, but we get a bump if you order from those, so thank you if you do.
Yeah, I'll throw it in the description box real quick.
Yeah, oh yeah, here's that one too. The Inshore Crafts, and it really is. And unfortunately, a lot of these books, I mean, I've accumulated these books over 30 years. So some of them are out of print, and even the used copies can be very expensive, but I at least wanted to, put a link in so people could see what they were. A great topic and one of just massive interest to me. I'm always excited about that kind of stuff.
This is the first I've heard of this. We're going to build a boat at some point project.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, how about some super chats real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Catch up on that. And thanks to everyone who's donated. Laura Speck became a channel member. Thank you so much. Yeah, for those interested, we have a little membership section on our channel. You get to have custom emojis, you get a badge by your name, and it's just a way to support us if you can, just another way. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. Ryan Mercer, thank you. Says, I'm already seeing leaves change down here in Indy. Yup, I can't believe it's mid-September.
Pretty scary.
Yeah. John Schmonsees, I think. Sorry if I got that wrong. What guide did you use to build the wheelbarrow? Any chances we'll see that in a video? I knew people are gonna want to see that.
Wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Where's the video on the wheelbarrow? Denise Maloney Pyron. Aaron, maybe you can figure out why I still can't comment on any of your videos but can chat here. Yeah, that is I spent a little while this morning looking into that, and I am very confused.
Yeah, I'm double confused. Denise, we looked at it, and if you can post emojis, you should be able to post anything. So it's not something we can change on our end. I have no idea what to tell you.
Yeah, you are absolutely not a blocked user in any way. So. You're actually, I think, an approved user right now. It's very weird.
So I'm confused, and I'd continue to look into formatting. Is it like trying to type invisible letters? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
we tried, but
maybe on your keyboard.
From what we've done on our end, there's nothing else I can do. Unfortunately.
Sorry about that. We appreciate you though very much. And you're in the chat. You're hanging out with the chat. That's like better.
Yeah.
CDK, thank you. A few shillings so you can provision your dream boat with ample grog and hardtack.
Oh yeah. We're gonna fill it with hardtack.
Yeah. Aaron Howitt, thank you. You could build the Lego set of the USS Constellation.
Ooh.
She was a heavy naval frigate in 1797, so she fits the time period.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a cool idea.
Aaron wants to do that.
Well, we could do a live stream of you building it.
There we go.
That'd be fun. Enzo Vinci, I believe. Thank you. Hello, John and crew. So glad I could finally make it. I'm running into trouble with the journal. I'll send you an email explaining everything. Okay.
Cool. Yes.
Noob Thunder, thank you. Very nice donation. The Nina the Pinta the Santa Maria boat and wrenches, boats and wrenches. And I think he meant a different word, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay, there we go.
Michael Miranda, do you have plans for more naval recipes?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Another one from Enzo. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. I apologize. My birthday is next Wednesday, and I only asked for stuff from Jazz Townsend. Hopefully, I get everything. It was a lot of stuff. There you go. What else do you need?
Yeah.
And then there's one more I gotta go look for because YouTube stuff is jank. Can't comment. Can't look at the donations.
Yeah.
What a
Hello.
mess.
Hello.
Get it together. Just kidding. We love you, YouTube. You're perfect. Finally made it to a live stream to ask, who is Brandon? Did I miss an introduction video? Will he ever appear in the tavern? And then I just got one more donation.
He did appear once.
Yeah, he was here.
He was here for the mallet.
The mallet raffle
auction.
Yeah. Go check out the blacksmith videos.
Yeah.
He
We'll have him in sometime to talk.
Oh yeah. Jesse Taylor, thank you, and that's all I got right now.
Okay, so wheelbarrow, and Brandon did the wheelbarrow, and the wheelbarrow's just I'll try to talk with actual words. The wheelbarrow is made from lots and lots of period images, and they didn't change all that much from, say 1700 all the way up to the 19th century, or even early 20th century for that matter. And so we definitely can put that on a list of, kind of to do. And there's some interesting takes on wheelbarrows that might be fun to do. Naval recipes, we've done, stockfish is a naval recipe, ship's biscuits, we did lobscouse,
grog.
Yeah, grog, obviously. We did.
Did you say ship's biscuit?
Yeah, I did say
That's
ship's
like
biscuits.
original.
Salt pork. We didn't eat the salt pork, but we used it in other recipes. And there's some other ones probably are there, and I'll keep my eye open. Oh, and that reminds me too. One of the other books I wanted to recommend and book series I wanted to recommend, even though it's not nonfiction but fiction, the Aubrey and Mastron series by Patrick O'Brien, the Master and Commander, in all the 21 books. He's dead now, but he did a fantastic job of doing historical fiction of the time period, and covering all the mindset and the things, even different aspects of life. He just did a really, really good job. I can't recommend that enough, especially for people who are interested in naval stuff. And even the companion book, not done by him, but some other folks that did like recipes from that, because he covers food a lot. He talks about a lot of food. That's a really good book too. So can't recommend that series enough. Before I get any further into fun stuff and we get to questions, I know I wanted to get to this week's Patreon. It's only a half a week's Patreon because I was here on Tuesday filling in for when I was gone on Friday. These are the new Patreon names, new folks that have partnered with us in a way to help us make videos. And Dorothy Scanlon, Paul Orsillo, somebody who's just Ralph, Scott Towns, Justin Wilcox, Catherine Brown, Rita Loy, John Skamansis, I probably got that one wrong, Jeremy Thompson, I probably spelled it wrong, George Page, Saif Syed, Eden Woods, Michael Florence, Lisa Bryant, Brandon Naughton, and Scott. You guys are all helping us out. Patreon is one of those ways that people will help us out. That's just like a small, amount of money each month, and there's a link if you're interested in that. Sometimes we do special Patreon live streams, etc. We always have fun. Anyway.
And we're trying to ramp that up more recently.
Yes.
We got some ideas on how to
Yes,
get
we
some
got
stuff.
more fun stuff in the brain hopper. It's already pretty full, but we're going to do it anyway.
Well, we don't have anything else going on.
I got more stuff to talk about, but you want to get some questions to me? You got any questions?
I can get a couple more super chats.
Do it.
There's a couple questions too, but let's get these super chats. Oh, okay, there's two. Sorry. But I'll do them anyway. Speed and Style Tony, thank you. Speaking of an auction, you should make up some things on the lathe and or forge and sell them. I actually like that idea quite a bit. And then Mike Krook, thank you. Nutmeg, great spice or the greatest spice? I think greatest. Have a fine weekend and thanks for the ship info. Making some burgoo this weekend. Nice.
Oh yeah.
Right on.
There is not much that nutmeg doesn't make better.
Yeah, I would agree. So yeah, let me do some digging for some questions.
Let me talk about the upcoming video.
Yes.
Monday.
Yes.
Monday. I thought I had a copy. It's always like.
I thought you were gonna say I thought you had the.
No, I thought I had a copy of
dish.
the book over here. On Tuesday, we talked about the art of a treatise on the art of bread making, and we talked about bread, and that just got me so hungry for bread that we did a bread episode. So a bread episode is coming up on Monday. And again, if you were interested in one of those books, you can get it from the website right now. We're out of stock on them right this second, but as soon as they come in and another batch is on order, you'll get one. It's a great book on what they thought about bread in that 18th century time frame. So love that one.
Here's a question. What type of furniture was used on board ships in the 18th century? Would it have been normal furniture like you would see in a house just bolted to the floor? That's what it looks like in that one picture. Like they just put like their table out.
Yeah, and it depends on it obviously depends on the situation. So if you know, what's happening in a military, naval situation is, of course, you've got all these decks where people live, but it's also a fighting deck where there are cannons mounted, the long guns or whatever. And so anything that's on those decks has to be able to be broken down and stowed in the hold. And all those things are breakdownable, or they're made in lockers in such a way that everything can be picked up, it can be moved around, you can pack stuff in it. I mean, everything on board a ship tends to be very space saving because you have very little space. You're trying to, not carry too much weight because you need that for other things. Thank you. There's somebody delivering a treatise on the art of bread making. It's like I've got elves that are listening.
Yeah, how
and
do they know?
They bring me stuff. Isn't it amazing? I think it's really cool. The treatise on the art of bread making. Thank you, elves. Everything has to be broken down, so you tend to not have just straight up regular furniture. It's usually special made. And ships, as you can see from some of the pictures, there's nothing level. There's nothing straight. Everything's rounded at strange angles. And so furniture, just straight up furniture, it's like you'd be sitting this way or that way or falling down on the ground, and then you'd need to move it and it doesn't work. So furniture that comes from houses just doesn't work that well. So generally it's specialty and quite often breaks down.
Here's a question that came in with a super chat. John Talley, thank you. Didn't people make houseboats to go down the Ohio River to the Kentucky? Then they took them apart and used the wood for something once they got there. Maybe you guys could try that. That's a good question. Here's another one. Iowa Farm Boy, thank you all. Thank you for all you do and the amazing info in a time when the world was a bigger place. Yeah. Yes, I wish the 1700 style cloak would come back into style. Yes. Matthew H, thank you. Idea for Golden Nutmeg Patreons, a discount in the Townsends store. Also, what's your favorite sea shanty and what is Aaron's favorite? Oh man.
I've got a lot. Aaron's probably not all that familiar. You can probably, ask him about something the Ramones did or somebody like that. But okay, the name didn't come to me at that moment. You know who I'm talking about. Anyway, my brain isn't always where it's supposed to be.
Young kids.
Yeah, you
Ramones.
kids. Golden Nutmeg level. Actually, I was thinking about doing special Zoom meetings. So it was we'll see how that works out. And the question about taking the boats. There's a lot of things they would do that were kind of one-way trips in in that time period, or late 18th century, early 19th century, especially down the Ohio, down the Mississippi. You might take a You might take a boat down and have it come apart. You sell it when it's down there, and they can use it one way or the other. You might build a house with it. That was quite common. And there were even situations. I remember reading one where a guy took his like dugout canoe. He took it, trading down the river, but he wanted to take it back home. But it was so hard to go upriver with it that he bought an oxen and drug it home. Okay, I should have just left it. I mean, really, is it worth that much? So yeah.
Here's one. John, have you seen Captain John Smith's shallop? Isaac Pearson had a shallop in 1773 in New Jersey for moving lumber and other items.
No.
No?
Read that one out to me again.
Have you ever seen Captain John Smith's shallop?
Captain John Smith. All right.
I'm going to check that one out.
At least he's got a different name, and one that
Sure.
really stands out.
Right.
Got it. Captain John Smith shallop. I'll look it up.
Jesse Taylor, thank you. Another super chat. I am digging.
That's all right.
Around.
Let's,
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
What type of material did they use for the sails?
So, well, that's kind of funny. The cotton fabric that I've got here, this particular shirt, is what has been, actually, it's hard to get right now. It's called, this fabric is called Osnaburg. It's a cotton fabric, and it's meant to emulate Osnaburg of the 18th century, which of course isn't cotton at all, and is the kind of fabric they use for sails in a lot of, it's like whether you would use, imported sail material or kind of local sail material, but most of that sail material in the 18th century, it's going to be linen or a linen derivative like tow, whatever, something coarser, but it isn't until we get to the 19th century when sails start to be made out of different kinds of fabric like cotton. The sails were heavy. If you've been on a modern sailboat, well, we used to have these wonderful light, very, very strong, sometimes very, very loud sail materials when they, rattle in the wind. But in the time period, you had these heavy flax materials that you were sailing with, and you might dye the sails to make them last longer, or so sometimes you see those very dark red sails, the tan bark sails. It's a topic all by itself that would be really interesting to dig into, and just how tough they had to be to last any great period of time in the heavy weather that they would have to deal with.
Where did that one go? Oh, did they? Would they dye the sails?
Yeah, I mentioned the tan bark sails. Those are the red ones.
Oh, okay.
Or kind of dark reddish brown sail material, and I think that was for a when you put that in there, they might age better, but I'm not actually totally sure. I think they look really cool. And I want a tan bark sail, but I want a lot of things in life, don't I?
Amber Crystal Daughter, thank you. Nuts for the squirrels that keep the time vortex powered.
Oh.
Yes.
They're
Very
running.
important.
They're running overtime.
And then Max are cool. Thank you so much. Thanks for the Friday video and the return of the awesome blue coat.
Yeah,
it's been a little while.
This is I thought I was doing sort of boaty kind of naval-y kind of thing. So on goes the naval jacket, funny little cut down hat. So yeah, that's a thing to do.
Southwind Fall, thank you. It says, off topic, could you please tell us the backstory to that no old baby thing? My friend Eric emailed the story to Ryan, but is too humble to ask.
Yeah, so we talked about that.
It was in a painting.
Yeah, No Old Baby was in that Hogarth thing, and there's some really interesting backstory to the No Old Baby. I think we talked about it Tuesday or whenever the last, who knows how many live streams ago. Really interesting. A man named Child. Well, there's multiple ideas about what's going on with No Old Baby, and it's like many things in history. There's multiple layers, but the part that I thought was totally hilarious was the person who was running for office, whose name was Child, And, his opposition was making fun of him and saying, well, you have to be a certain age to run, and we don't let children run for office. And this bothered this guy so much that he changed his name. And it was one of those, politics in the time period was just as dirty and backhanded and, rhetorical as it is today, where, it's like, we don't need a ton of truth. What is kind of a funny thing that we can, kind of dig in on somebody? And No Baby was all that. It was all about this political thing, and then maybe some other things too. I think there was other issues that fold into that.
Yeah. Jesse Taylor again. Oh, I keep messing up super chat. Say no problem. Thanks for what you guys do. It feels like PBS from the 18th century. Impressive video production value for the 18th century. Yes, we do pride ourselves.
You can thank Aaron right there.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, not like a ton of questions.
Let me talk about a little bit about the. So people have asked. I used to have. Do I have one? It's over there. The Nutmeg Tavern mug that was the blue and the white, and some of the other ones. People have been continually. It's like, oh, I missed it, and we're doing our best to get caught up with having enough Nutmeg Tavern mugs around to, for everyone who wants to come and have a drink here with us. So more mugs are on their way. We're trying our best. We're trying to fill up that mug pipeline, but those mug makers, man, you just gotta really nose to the grindstone, guys. Right. So we're working on that, and on that kind of topic, I was, we have had mugs. We've done some T-shirts in the past. I'm wondering about whether a baseball cap with a cool embroidered Nutmeg Tavern thing would be cool. If you've got an idea about that, you can talk to us in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and the people, a lot of folks really enjoy the music that underlies a lot of our videos, especially the fiddle and what's the word I want? Sort of big mandolin. I don't know, bouzouki music. Jim's Red Pants, they've repackaged their album that actually has the theme song that we used to the cooking album, and that will be on our website next week, and maybe next week we'll play you a cut or two. This is a repackaging of an album that's already out, plus some bonus tracks, so maybe they'll let us play a bonus track or something on the live stream. Maybe Rick and Hillary would be nice enough to let us do that.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So check out that, hopefully next week.
How much yardage of rope would be on a boat like the one that you want?
On the one I want.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about on the one I want, but just for a smallish frigate of the time period, we would be, if they would say, okay, I want you to pull out all the ropes and cables and, whatever, pull them out and put them out here on the ground. It would be a mountain of rope, some of them that big. Can you imagine, it's like, how you fit all this in there? Huge anchor ropes, hawsers and all these different rope sizes for doing different jobs, lines and halyards, and they're using just tons and tons of that. I don't even think we can just grasp not only having them, having all that available to them, how it got made, and how often they have to replace it. It's such an important part of making a ship go, and it's constantly wearing out. It's constantly chafing and turning to little flaky bits, and if one of the most important one breaks, well, your mast can fall right out of your ship. It's just like, okay, you don't want that to break. I don't think we can fathom what's going on with the rope, as it were, in 18th century ships of the time period. You get to a smaller thing like we're talking about, a 30-foot fishing smack. It's not quite so critical. But on these bigger ships, it's just amazing.
How common were ship's cats?
I wish I had a good answer to that, and I don't think they're uncommon. They might not be as common as we imagine, but that's it's not something that, I mean, some of those things are really, it's easy to find anecdotal examples of yes or no, but it's really, nobody's got the data that says 47% of ships had ship's cats, because people don't necessarily record that for, each situation.
So a lot of people are talking about hemp sales. How common was that? Was that a thing? Or?
Hemp? Well, yeah, we're going to be using, all those, so much of the ropes are made out of hemp. Mm-hmm. And hemp and linen are very similar in what's going on with them and the kind of fabric they make. So hemp fabric, using the hemp for, they're almost interchangeable sometimes in the way they feel. So hemp rope, yes, definitely, 100%. That's going to be the big thing. And then undoubtedly, sometimes they're going to be using that for the sail material. Also, depends on what region, where they're from.
Let me see.
We're making Aaron work extra hard. He's got to do two
Triple
and
duty.
3 things at once, yes.
Yeah. Aaron Howitt, thank you. Coin for the Keeper of the Time stream. Thank you. Then John Talley, where's Ryan? I haven't seen him since he designated himself co-host. What did John do to him?
Yeah, we gave him a raise and see what happens now.
He dipped. He sold the tavern.
Yeah, he sold the tavern and got out of town. No, he'll be back. He'll be back next week. Don't worry, you'll see him. He is just taking some time off with his family. Every once in a while, I gotta let people do it.
He won't let me.
Well, not Aaron.
No. He told me no way.
Talk about nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
Keep working.
Yep. Just still looking for some questions. For those who have, there's a lot more people in here now. Do you want to kind of give people an idea of what you're wanting to do?
Yeah. So, the topic is what my dream of one of my bigger dreams about doing 18th century things. And one of those ones that's so far out there that it's like, okay, that's a dream and it isn't doable. Although I still want to be able to do it. So I've scaled it down. I don't want an HMS Surprise, 32 gun or 28 gun frigate. No. I want a small, big for us, wooden, maybe fishing vessel, packet vessel. Bring me up like picture number 3 or 4. I know, to make him do an extra thing.
Well, I gotta scroll
there
through.
There we go, yeah. We'll go back up.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. See that little guy there?
Right.
The Yarmouth on, not the big one in the middle there. The one right on the right side. See that little, there you go. That's John's dream vessel, dream boat. A neat little packet or, neat little pilot vessel like that. So we showed a bunch of pictures of those kinds of things, talked about the doability / not doability of something like that. And there are some folks that are doing ships, boats, and things like that out on the East Coast. And I go check them out on Pinterest. Enjoy every picture.
Donation from Kara Nightingale. Thank you. Hey everyone, have you considered doing videos with the USS Constitution in Boston? Is it open to the public? And then Aaron Howitt, thank you. What will you name your ship? Well, we probably have to do a poll.
I think it would be called the Nutmeg.
Yes, I was gonna say you gotta go with Nutmeg.
Anyway, I have not been to the Constitution. Boston's if you've ever driven through Boston, it's like, it's not fun. I was there a couple years ago, and we went to the Boston Tea Party Ships Museum. That's a great and neat spot to visit. Sort of, kind of living museum-y kind of thing. Recommend it. I think they're even in this day and age, they are doing some kinds of programs right now. It's like tricky. They've got a couple of replica working-sized vessels of the time period. They take you out onto those, the same size and type of ship that they would have thrown the tea, boxes off of during the tea party. So they've got those they take people out on. I think they're working on a third one. So it's the museum itself is out in the river, which is cool, kind of cool. You walk on a bridge and then they're on this building thing, sort of is there, the museum part. You go on the tour and they give you an idea about the politics of the time period. Then they take you on a tour of the ships. So you on the top of the ship and the underneath the ship, and then they take you back into a part of the museum where you can actually see one of the tea chests. Very cool. And then there's even a tea room and all that kind of good stuff. A neat little museum about all that's going on in the time period, especially the idea that you get to go on a period style ship. Now those are constantly connected. You can't sail them away. In fact, it's impossible to sail them away because they're between two bridges and you would smash your mast off if you tried to get out. But still, ultra cool exhibit. And I have not been to the Constitution that is in Boston also, because my time is always squeezed.
I got some more super chats. John Kennington, thank you. Sailcloth were made from silk wool, hemp cotton, canvas Osnaburg, and linen. What was used depends on the size of the vessel and the weather. A taco lover, thank you. Call her the USS Grog. There you go. Matthew H, thank you. When's the boat GoFundMe start? Yeah. Amble, thank you.
I've got a coin jar now that
there you go.
I'm filling up. So.
Amber Crystal Daughter, John, catch or y'all?
Probably a catch. Yep, I'm gonna go with that.
All right. And then Michael Miranda, thank you. My girlfriend wants to know if the Nutmeg Wild Boar has a name. Oh, I don't.
The name of the boar. Wow. We'll work on that. We will work on his name.
Yeah.
Good idea. Maybe you guys have some ideas.
Chuck.
Well, there's my vote.
Well, on that one topic, somebody mentioned all those sale materials, and we had some folks in the store probably a year ago, fascinating customers in the store, and they were talking about being Viking reenactors. And one of the topics that came up was the idea that the sails on the Viking ships, which really the ship design is just out of this world, the ship sails were made of wool. And I was just blown away by the idea that they would have wool sails. Talk about heavy. I mean, I can't even imagine what the sail would be like. These guys had to be brawny just to raise that thing up. It'd be crazy.
Yeah, people are jumping in with names. Boris.
Boris.
Yeah, there you go. I don't have a ton on the. Oh, here we go. This person's been asking. Hunker buses?
Yeah, hanker buses. That was mentioned in the video that we did on Wednesday, right? So we were on Friends Goodwill. We did a bunch of pictures for the catalog. We shot a couple videos. You saw Wednesday's video, which was kind of a refit. We weren't sure about that second video and what it should be. So we retrofitted it, and I think it worked. I really enjoyed the video. It's a little different than our original intention, but it was fun anyway. And the reading was from Samuel Kelly's book. Again, a very difficult to get autobiography of a sailor in that time period, in the 18th century. It may be one that I try to reprint because it's so good and yet so impossible to find. Anyway, he mentions sailing in the tops of the ship, and so can you bring up number 3 again?
Number 3?
That's not slide number 3.
Yeah.
I'm making him work overtime.
This
okay.
one?
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. So, if you look at the center ship, and if you go down that center mast, right there in the middle of the big sail, there's a platform up there, and that's one of the ship's tops. And what will happen is they keep sails up there, and they will also keep during a naval action when they're fighting, they'll send men up there with guns, like just regular muskets, to shoot at people on the other side. And they will also have these little miniature cannons or giant deck guns or wall guns. And I believe a Hankerbus is like, imagine a big blunderbuss. Or when Aaron edited that, he put one of the swivel guns, which is another kind of gun you would have up there. He put a swivel gun in that spot where I'm talking about that. And those are just very light cannons or very giant muskets that you would have in that in those upper platforms that you would fight from. You might call them, another word that people might use would be a crow's nest. Crow's nests are different. They're usually for whaling vessels, and they're just meant for a lookout position. But these tops, they're actually doing multiple different things. They're storage areas for sails, and they also spread the lines out that hold the masts up. So they're there for multiple purposes.
There you go. Have you ever researched the naval history of the lovely Rhode Island? Fort Adams barely makes the 18th century list.
Rhode Island. No, I have not. There's so much history. A lot of people will ask, it's like, well, you feel like you're running out of material, or maybe you won't have any more recipes to do or more skills. It's like, are you kidding? I mean, we can't even scratch the surface on bread or something, just that we consider a simple topic. There is so many places and so many different cultures and connections that we can find with what we do today and what happened then. It's incredible.
Yeah, and going back to the Wednesday's video, definitely check out the Friends Goodwill.
Yeah.
Is it Michigan Maritime?
Yeah, Michigan Maritime, or Great Lake Maritime. I think it's Michigan Maritime Museum.
It's the
South Haven, Michigan. Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Yes.
Being able to go out there.
Yeah, and it's not far from us. It's just way too close, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's too close for John.
Yes, too close for me. Where are you going, John? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Back on the Friends Goodwill. And we took a 3-hour tour.
Yeah, we're lucky we didn't get stranded on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah. And I packed I packed everything I owned, like the house did, just in case.
You never know.
Yeah, you do. You never know. Let me see. Ever go up to Mackinac Island? Awesome fort, lots of history. That would be
fun.
I
have not personally been up there. It's on my go-to list, but it's a long list.
Yeah, there's a lot of, everybody's asking, have you been to this place? Here we go. Any chance one day, hold on. Any chance you can one day show early Native American cuisine? That's definitely on our list of getting into that element.
That mostly has to do with coming up with collaboration partners.
Yes.
And finding the right folks to collaborate with. Yep. I'm not a specialist on that, and I don't have the time to do the in-depth research, and I really that's something we need to partner with other folks on.
Yeah, you don't want to assume a lot in those,
exactly.
with those. What's your second favorite spice after nutmeg?
Mace? That's cruel. I won't.
Your kitchen pepper.
I think pepper in general is one, but kitchen pepper is the great way to fit them all in at once.
Yeah, if you notice in cooking episodes, John will put a
lots of pepper.
Liberal dash of pepper on everything, and I'm with it. It does add a interesting.
I like that. Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
John. It's interesting.
Oh, here's one. Like somebody asked this. I think it was just on the channel, but someone else asked here. What would the outside of the Nutmeg Tavern look like in your mind? Is it on a street? Is it out like is it its own building? Is it part of like a row of buildings? I thought that was kind of interesting.
A lot of times there's city taverns, and then there's that on the road inn style tavern. And I always had imagined it being on one of those post roads kind of a places, where there's a crossroads and the coach is carrying people from one place to another, and then you stop and there's a little bit of a village there, but it's mostly the stop. And that's what I see is the Nutmeg Tavern. But, it could be in the city too. It's a toughie.
Yeah, somebody was saying, speaking of visiting, we need to visit Audley End House, John, and the Kitchen with Mrs. Program. That idea has floated out there. We've collaborated with them, but getting John in the building has definitely
well, even they only are able to shoot, what is it, 1 or 2 days in a 3-month period?
Yeah, they do basically they mass shoot a bunch of stuff. Yeah. They'll shoot
they don't have constant access. Right now, if we wanted to shoot a video in the German kitchen, we just walk out there and do it.
Right.
That is constantly available to us. The cabin's constantly available. If you have a site like Audley End House where you only have access to this tiny time period, that's much more difficult.
Yeah, and it's definitely been tossed around, that idea. But that would be
we could time warp her into the 18th century and bring her here. That would probably.
Hey, in the day and age of doing Zoom calls and all that, we could probably get her in for a live stream or something. Yeah, I think we're about there.
That's good. That's a good place. We've got to. It's been a wonderful time here in the Nutmeg Tavern, and I want to thank all the Super Chat folks, all the great Patreon folks that came in and helped us out this week, and the hundreds of other Patreon folks that have been helping us out all this time. All those things make a huge difference in our ability to bring you live streams and bring you videos every week, and we want to do more and more. And I would do whatever I need to do. Build a ship, okay, let's do it. And you guys help make that happen. And it's not only, it's a special crew right here in the Nutmeg Tavern. Every one of you that comes in here, it's a special kind of an inner core of an audience. But what we do affects what people see all over the world. And people who only see 1 or 2 of our videos, what we do here makes a difference to what they see out there. And it makes a huge difference. So I want to thank everyone out there for watching the videos, suggesting them, sharing them with other people, helping us out with merch or Super Chat or whatever it is. It makes a massive difference morale-wise and our just ability to do what we do. You make it happen. Thank you for being with us this week. I hope you have a very safe and wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. See you later.